All right, guys, welcome back to the show. This is your host, Hunter McWaters, and we are continuing this week to have these conversations that I recorded live at the Hunt Expo in Salt Lake City. Again, if you've never been, it happens every February in Salt Lake, and I highly recommend you going. It's a great place to meet folks in the industry if you want to network, or even if you want to just go and check out the products and all the great, awesome mounts and, meet some of your favorite content creators or whatnot. It's just kind of an opportunity to have everybody in the Western hunting world sort of under one roof. And so I try to make it every year. It's only my second year, but it's a great time for me to record some content in person because I don't normally get to do that. So, if you want to go to YouTube and check these out, I have the video versions up as well. But this week I am sitting down with Kate Small and Jules McQueen, and lastly, Mark Livesay. So this is a really good episode. Each conversation's about 15 to 30 minutes long, roughly. If you don't know Kate, her and her husband work in the industry. They're awesome hunters. They live in the state of Idaho. And they're kind of known for wolf hunting. They've kind of become a little bit of experts at killing wolves in Idaho, which is something we definitely need. So we jump in kind of in depth about wolf hunting. Jules McQueen, you may or may not know her name, but she is a big time person in the industry. She's been in the outdoor hunting space for, I think, like 20 years or something, and she's the president of Carbon TV. Which is, if you don't know, it's a digital outdoor media platform. It's kind of like YouTube or something, but all outdoor content. It's free, and it's a great place to catch your outdoor hunting content. And she's a really entertaining, cool lady. So have a conversation with her, and then I get to catch up with my old buddy Mark Livesay. We have a great talk. We talk about bear hunting. Talk about our Montana hunts this year, and it's always fun to get a chance to talk to Mark. Just a super knowledgeable guy and a good friend. So hope you guys enjoy this episode. We got one more week of these Expo episodes, and then we'll kind of be back to regular programming, but I want to make sure I get these conversations out to you guys in a timely fashion, and I think they're good stuff. So hope you all are enjoying these. And make sure to check them out on YouTube if you like, and subscribe to the channel. You can just search my name, Hunter McWaters. And see you guys in the next one. Enjoy. So guys, I'm here with Kate Small. And man, I met you probably last year at the Expo.
Yeah.
And I've seen you at just different tacks, and you and your hubby. Kind of everywhere I go, I kind of run into you guys.
Yes, I know. We're everywhere. You can't get away from it.
Which is great because you guys are super nice. So, but yeah, and you're from?
I'm originally from Oregon, but right now we're in eastern Idaho.
Dude, so many killers are from Oregon and Washington.
Well,
what's up with you guys?
We learned from all the predators they have there, and we had to flee.
Yeah. Plus, you're dealing with hate from all the woke people.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's pressure creates diamonds.
Yep.
No, that's cool. So you live in Idaho now?
Yes. Yeah.
How do you like it?
Love it. I moved to Idaho about 10 years ago. My husband's from Idaho.
Okay.
But
how'd you guys meet? I can already tell this is going to be a story.
I know, it is a story. Actually, funny story. I had a boyfriend at the time. We were living together, and we threw a big 4th of July party. And one of my friends invited a bunch more people over, and Justin was one of them. And him and I just hit it off and started talking that day, and by the end of the night he said, "I'm gonna marry you," and I felt the same way, and I broke up with my boyfriend.
No way.
And he moved in, and we've been together.
Dude, that's
ever
amazing.
Since. So it was,
you just knew.
Not amazing for my ex-boyfriend,
right.
but I just knew, and it wouldn't have been
that's
fair.
Cool. So me and my wife, it wasn't quite that fast, but we were married 4 or 5 months after we met, maybe
No
6.
kidding?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I proposed to her like 2 months after we met.
Oh.
Or something. Yeah, so.
How'd you guys meet?
At work, she was. I was a cameraman on a shoot, and she was like associate producer, and just started kind of. I was like, oh, she's cute. Started kind of flirting with her a little bit, and took her out on my motorcycle.
Oh.
So that was
Had
it.
to test
After
her
the
out.
motorcycle. Well, yeah. At first, I was like, I don't know, is she gonna be into that? And then I said I had a motorcycle. She's like, oh, I love bikes, and I was like, okay, yep.
You're like, perfect.
Yeah.
Marry me.
Yeah. So, did you guys have a good season?
Yeah. It was a busy season. We tagged out, I think, on almost everything except not me on archery elk. But,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
but
What hunts did you guys do?
we stick to Idaho. We need to start branching out to different states.
It's a great state.
Yeah,
You
it
gotta
is.
stick to one.
It's a great state. Over-the-counter tags, you can't really beat it. We've got 2 little kids, so
Idaho is really good to residents. I feel like.
to residents, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Non-residents, it's not so much anymore.
Yeah.
But
My friend Brad, you know Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah. He started working, with Brian, and Brian lived in Utah, and he wanted him to like move. And Brad's like, no, I'm not leaving Idaho.
No, won't do it.
I'll commute.
Well, everything's over the counter, and you just can't
Yeah.
really beat it. So.
Even like the best units.
Yeah, we do have our certain draws, but really, you can shoot giants over the counter. So.
So, Justin's your husband, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He shot a archery elk, or?
He shot an archery elk bull. He shot a stud of a deer this year.
Oh, nice.
Just
Rifle
public
or?
land rifle,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we tagged out on bears.
Okay.
Archery whitetail spot and stock. I got a buck, and
Nice.
then I archery.
That's not easy.
No, it was my first archery buck, and I was
Oh,
by
wow.
myself. And
Nice.
so that was exciting for me this
Okay,
year because
yeah.
I'm more of a rifle person. So
Me too.
yeah.
It's interesting because like where I grew up hunting, you couldn't hunt with a rifle. It was archery and shotgun, like in some muzzleloader only. So I got into the rifles like 3 years ago, and it's kind of like it was new to me. So it was like a whole new. So I've actually really enjoyed like getting into rifle hunting because it's like new.
It's interesting,
Yeah.
right? I like both of them for different reasons.
Yeah.
It's, when I'm archery hunting, I miss rifle, and when I'm rifle hunting, I'm like, I wish I was archery
Yeah.
hunting.
So my first 2 deer, and I was like 14, or with a bow.
See, that's impressive.
Yeah.
It was my first year archery hunting, so.
Okay.
Or I guess second, but.
What kind of bow did you shoot?
I shoot a Matthews Avail.
Nice.
So light.
Yeah, I shoot a Matthews as well, but it's kind of an older one. But it's still a good one. It's a Switchback XT. I've heard it's one of the better ones I've ever made, but it's older. But anyway, so what do you guys do? I know you're kind of like really involved in the outdoor industry. Are you in it like kind of, well, your husband works for Divide, right?
So yeah, he works for Divide Gun Company.
Okay.
And then I'm a registered nurse, so
cool.
I do.
You have a nurse vibe.
Do I?
Yeah.
Is it? What does that mean? Is that a
It just
good
means
thing?
like I pictured you, as soon as you said that, I saw you in scrubs, and I was like, yep.
Yeah. So.
No, I mean like positive, tough,
Well, thank you.
Good smile.
I'm like, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
No, it's good. I meant it in a
That
good way.
Crusty old nurse.
No. Like cool, hip, young nurse.
So I do right now home health. I used to work in an ER. And,
Okay. You still do it, or?
I would do home health now. We're in such a small community, and so it's nice to be able to kind of make your own schedule with hunting and
Sure.
kids,
Yeah.
and so that's what I do. And then he works with Divide, and he works in Texas in the oil fields now because he's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and that gives us 2 weeks out of the month to hunt.
Okay.
And so.
And you guys hunt together a lot?
Yeah, we usually try to hunt together. If we can't find a babysitter,
Yeah.
I'll stay home, he'll go out, and vice versa. So.
Wow. Yeah, like part of me wishes that my wife was like more into hunting, but at the same time,
No.
yeah, like,
I tell everyone, be so grateful.
yeah, because then you have to like compete for who gets to go out.
Yeah, I think every day I'm pretty sure Justin regrets marrying me for that reason because I'm like, no, it's my turn. You stay home with the kids, and I'm out hunting,
Oh,
and
dude,
so.
yeah.
But we support each other, so it's good. We
Yeah.
we like to give each other ample time to get.
Do you guys
out
ever
there.
go out on like multi-day kind of hunts together?
Oh, all the time.
That's cool. That's really
usually-
cool. That's the one part of it that's cool when you can do that.
Yeah, I think we're best together on the mountain. We just
Okay.
work really well together. At home, we're like, gosh, we wish we were out, and it's
Yeah.
hard for us to be home. So yeah, we go out for you know, we have multiple week or 2 week long hunts a year that we go out.
And the kids are how old?
1.5 and 4.
Okay, so they're not going with you yet.
No, not
but
yet.
But that'll be cool when you can do that.
I'm excited. We set up a bear bait for like friends and family, and I take the kids out on that with me just to like check it out. And
that will be cool, like when they're old enough and you guys can all 4 go and like, you know, camp and hunt.
Wait, I'm so excited for that.
That'll be
when
really
they can
cool.
Get out there themselves and I don't have to carry them.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. Yeah, we have a pretty good. So, my mother-in-law lives with us, which is actually awesome because, you know, traveling a lot.
Yeah,
I don't have to leave my wife alone, you know, and so that's good. But anyway, I did want to talk about you guys have been killing it with the depredation.
Yeah.
Depredation, how do you say that?
Depredation.
Yeah, killing wolves, basically.
Yeah, killing. We're big predator hunters.
Yeah.
We just always felt if we're going to take an ungulate, we want to take a bear or a wolf, whatever we can get. And
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and we do a lot of coyote hunting for ranchers around us.
Oh. It went away. Sorry.
And so, we got into wolf hunting maybe 2018, I think, was when we first killed our first wolves.
Now, was that kind of, because like, for instance, you know, I went hunting in your state this year, and I don't ever go hunting in your state without a wolf tag.
Yeah.
Because they're a fresh wolf.
Don't ever come to Idaho without a wolf tag.
I mean, they're cheap, they're easy to get. God, sneeze. And yeah, we had like fresh wolf tracks like 50 feet from our tent, and like just tons of fresh wolf sign. I never actually saw one. I did see one in the spring when I was hunting with Mark Livesay for like a second. But anyway, my point was, were you guys out there intentionally trying to kill a wolf, or you just, the first one, you just kind of saw one and like shot it?
No, we were intentionally trying to kill these ones.
And you kind of have to be, because they're not easy to kill.
Yeah, so the stats on that are less than 1% of hunters will ever kill a wolf. And then I think it's like 1/16 of that 1% will do so with the intention of killing a wolf. So usually you're out elk hunting,
so normally it's not intentional.
Yeah, normally you're after some other game.
But that's probably just because people don't intentionally go hunt wolves that much.
Yeah, and that's true too. But if you think about, so I don't know if you want some stats on this.
Sure.
And this is pertaining to Idaho. Right now we have, latest Fish and Game count just came out last week, 1,337 wolves. And so, statewide, that's the count they can get, you know, that's how accurate that is. It's
like, across the entire state, it's pretty thin.
It's pretty thin. They're usually kind of.
That's why you hardly ever see them, I guess.
Exactly.
But in certain areas, I guess there's tons of them, though. Like where I was hunting, there were tons of them.
There's tons of them, and that's the thing. They have a 250 square mile territory.
Oh, wow.
So they move far and fast. So you're not going to just see a wolf, you know, around every tree. It's just they've got a big territory.
And probably a big parts of your state don't have any, and the other parts are pretty populated.
Yeah, and
are they pretty thick where you guys are?
They're pretty thick where we are.
Yeah.
And when they were introduced in 1995, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service said Idaho can only maximum maintain 500 wolves for our ecosystem before all the ungulates.
So you're almost triple.
So we're almost triple. For a few years, we were triple. And so it's so important in our state to hunt wolves. And it's
is the government going to do anything with that, or is it just?
So right now, I think they're in panic mode because they're realizing our whole ungulate population is decimated. It's suffering, and wolf numbers are going down now because they don't have food. Their food source is depleted.
Because the area I was hunting, we heard people talking about, back in the day, this place was just amazing. You know, deer and elk everywhere. I think we saw 5, 6 a day. We were like, good day.
Yeah, and you're like, what? That sucks.
And tons of wolf tracks everywhere. So I think you're right. Like, we need to get people more on board with hunting wolves.
And that's the thing is that a lot of wolf hunting and trapping is so controversial, but I think people just aren't educated enough on the subject. And we'll never wipe out wolves completely.
Sure.
They'll never let that happen. But we need to keep it around that 300 to 500 mark so the rest of the animals can thrive as well.
And so we got a lot of wolves.
We got a lot of work to do, and it's hard because people go out wolf hunting not knowing what they're doing. We did.
Right. So how do you wolf hunt?
So I mean, you can do it so many different ways.
How do you guys kill wolves? Is it secret?
It's not secret. We do have a wolf academy coming up that you can.
Where can people find that?
So you can get a hold of me or Tom Schneider with Stuck in the Rut. And we're going to do a 3-day class in July.
That's a great idea.
And we're going to, because he's a wolf killer. He's so great at it. And we discovered we just hunt them differently.
Right.
And his area is heavily timbered. We are a lot more open where we are.
Okay.
And you hunt them differently, different times of season, different times of year.
Yeah.
And
so how do you guys hunt wolves?
So we like to hunt wolves. We like to howl them in or use distress calls. But a lot of it's driving roads, looking for tracks, just because you're not going to just go out in the woods and not see a sign and just hike for miles and hope you run into something.
You got to at least know they're in the area.
Yeah. And so we do that, and then last year we got into trapping, and it was our first year trapping, and we found we're really successful with that. And we had been studying this pack for like a year. We'd see them, they'd be 3,000 yards away. We'd, hike in, and they're still 3,000 yards away because 2 legs can't beat 4 legs.
Yeah.
And so we'd see them on the same ridge.
And they're smart.
Ridge.
I mean,
they're so
dogs.
Smart. And that's one of the things why we want to teach people to hunt wolves, because you educate them, you won't get a shot at that wolf again. They're so intelligent, and so makes it a million times harder to hunt them if you.
Yeah, I mean that's a really great way to just become a better hunter. So you guys, how successful is the calling tactics?
It depends. I mean, over the years we've learned kind of what their howls mean, what their bark means, and how to respond to that. And that's one of the things we'll teach in this course.
Nice.
But
you guys are kind of like wolf specialists almost.
No, we've learned from a lot of failed attempts, and that's for years.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, exactly. For years we've failed and screwed up, and so that's what the course is about: is to kind of cut down that time for other people so they can get out there and be successful.
And I hope people will get out there and do their part killing some wolves. We don't have wolves where I live, but anytime I see a coyote, I shot one down in Mexico actually.
Oh, did you? You're like, get it.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten wolf meat?
No. No.
Would you ever eat wolf meat?
No.
Oh, come on. You gotta try it.
Dude, next time I get a wolf, I'll send you some.
Okay. Maybe some wolf jerky and just drop it in the mail. I'll eat it.
No.
Did you see the episode of Meat Eater where they ate the coyote?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Him and Remy Warren barbecued up a coyote and ate it.
How was that?
I think they said it was pretty good. I mean, dude, I will eat. I've never had meat that was properly cared for that was bad.
Yeah,
okay, I take that back. Chipmunk and crow taste pretty bad.
What? You're just surviving off the land, dude.
No, it was
hard times.
It was my bachelor party. We went camping and we went hunting. And I thought it was a squirrel, but I just kind of and it was a chipmunk. So I shot it. I'm gonna eat it, and it was very bony and tasted weird. And the crow tasted like garbage.
Oh. Well, no, I won't eat wolf. We eat bear, and we use the bear fat.
Oh yeah, bear's great.
I love bear. That's one of my
wolf's
favorites.
Probably not bad. Is it a mental thing or what?
No, well they're so. When you kill a wolf and you walk up to it and you smell them,
coyotes reek too.
Yeah, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, that's true. But there are other stinky animals that taste pretty good, like javelina. Bears probably don't smell that great either. I mean, bears
don't
smell that
great, but bear meat's just so good.
Yeah.
I just love it.
I challenge you.
No.
Try a wolf.
No, but I will give you some.
Okay, I'll eat it.
You cook it up.
Yeah.
And then I want a video of you actually eating it.
If you guys do that, I will 100% eat it. Deal.
You heard it here.
I'll be in your state this spring, so.
Okay, I'll save one for you.
Okay. Save me like a ham, wolf ham.
Wolf backstrap? Would that?
I mean, yeah, tenderloin.
I
don't know, stewed neck meat. Who knows? But I was gonna say. I forget. Bear season. You guys ready? You gonna go out?
Yeah. I love spring bear is my favorite because to me it's just fun. There's no pressure. It's almost like a guarantee.
Oh, yeah?
I just love. Spring bear is my favorite.
Yeah, last year was the first year I did it. It was in Idaho, and I had some opportunities, but basically we shot Mark's bear across the river, and we had to like hike down, raft across, hike up, and where we were it was like this.
Yeah, were you in Idaho?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll tell you later where we were, but yeah. So after that, we were like, we don't want to shoot one across the river if we don't have to.
That's half the fun.
I know. Well, afterwards, I didn't shoot a couple bears that I could have across there, and then I regretted it.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, it would have been another, like, day of misery, but it's worth it.
They're always, like, across the river in the worst area. That was me this year. Justin and I were on, like, a 5-day backpacking hunt, and we had been glassing all day, and I spot this bear, and it was huge, and it was, like, across the river, like, 3 miles away. And I was like, hey.
Did you guys have a pack raft?
So, yeah, this is where, no, we didn't, and because we're idiots. I was like, hey, look at this bear. I said, I'm going to kill that bear. And he's like, you're crazy. That bear's on the effing moon. And I was like,
did you shoot him?
Oh, yeah, I named him the astronaut bear. We watched him that day. Justin's like, no, we're not doing this. And I just couldn't get it out of my head. Yeah, I was like,
what color was he?
Big. He was like a cinnamon brown color phase. And that night we went to sleep. It's all I did was think about that bear, and I like kept waking him up. I was like, in the morning, if he pops out right there, we're making a plan. And he did. I was like, let's do it. And so
I love it.
We like got to a spot on this side where I thought we could, maybe get within that like 800-900 yard, and we needed him to just come down a little bit and just make the perfect play, and he did exactly what we wanted.
You shot him at 800 yards?
Yeah, I think it was 820 or 860.
So you're a markswoman.
We're in a lot of wide open country, and so we shoot long range all the time.
Yeah.
We're
like coming from the southeast, that's like an unfathomable distance. I made a 450-yard shot this year, and I was like, yes.
Well, you've seen Idaho. It's like there a lot of spots. It's like you're either at 800 yards or you're at 30, and there's no in between. And that's kind of exactly how this was. We always try to get as close as we possibly can.
Yeah, we lucked out on Mark's bear. There was like a perfect little like finger that came out, and it was like I think 354 or something. But then we found one. I found one after Mark's on our side. Big one. Big chocolate one. We named him Meatball. Mark Livesay, who's done some bear hunting, said it was one of the top 10 he's ever seen. And I had a shot at 450, but I wanted to get closer, which I wish I had just shot at 450. Anyway, we went in. We were on the trail. I spot him. It was like a complete miracle that I spotted him. It was so thick. He was like bedded 100 yards from the trail. And we were literally 100 yards. We sat on him. I had my gun up on a tripod with a camera for 5 hours.
And you're just like...
He would wake up every 10 minutes like... And it was like fall back asleep. And we sat there for 5 hours. And then, in retrospect, I wish I'd done some things differently. Like maybe predator called or had Mark... I don't know.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Hindsight's 20/20. We thought any second he's going to stand up, I'm going to get a shot. Anyway... About 5 o'clock, the thermal switched, and then just disappeared.
No.
Yeah, so this year I'm getting my bear. I don't care how many rivers I got to cross, how many mountains I got to climb.
You're I'm getting it.
Even if it's a tiny little scrawny,
You'll
like
have to come
4-footer.
out bear hunting with us.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be fun. We should do that because bear's my favorite. But yeah, this bear, I ended up shooting him. He dies, and then the real work begins, right?
Oh, for sure.
So we get down to the river. We don't have... Justin, this is his fault. He forgot our waders, and this is like Idaho spring runoff, freezing cold river. So we stripped down, but luckily, no, if you were in the woods that day, sorry, put on our rain gear over and just go in the water. It was moving fast. In retrospect, it was really stupid and dangerous, especially like for me, I'm really short and little, and so it's water's hitting Justin in the legs, it's hitting me in the hips, and you could just
both parents doing deadly stuff with kids at home. It's a great idea.
Yeah, we're so smart. And then it was a big river, had to like climb across a log. Then it just starts storming, thundering, lightning, wind, trees are going down.
Trees going down?
Yeah, it was nuts. We're like trying to find this bear. We know it's down. Of course, you know what bears do. They go and die in the thickest crap. It run off. It dies. We find it wedged under a log, soaking wet. So it's so heavy, and it's like this. And we had to put trekking poles in the ground to keep the bear from rolling once we pulled it out of the creek or runoff. And we're like skinning it on this like vertical slope in this storm, and it was just a wild. And Justin's like, I hope you're happy. And I was like, I was so happy, but of course, like the bear looked so much smaller, with just soaking wet.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, I don't care, I got my bear.
Nice. Hey, you did it. So, and you got a cool story.
Yeah, and that's what my favorite thing is even if like we're not successful, it's just the memories you make.
For sure,
and you look back. It's not fun at the time, but
it rarely is. Yeah, it rarely is. And like even those moments where I'm like hiking and it's like, this sucks. Like, dude, I could be in a cubicle right now, like selling insurance or something.
Exactly. You're like,
like, what are you doing? Stop complaining.
I know. Yeah. It's so true.
But not every minute is fun. I mean, and that's okay.
Yeah, and that's what makes it worth it. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly. And best things in life take work and they're hard to do.
Yeah.
So, well, it's been great chatting with you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on.
This was fun. Yeah. So, guys, I'm here with, is it Jules or Julie?
Oh, Jules or Julie, either
Which
one.
do you prefer?
Yeah, Jules.
Okay,
Most
Jules.
Call me Jules, yeah.
All right, so Jules McQueen.
Yeah.
And so basically, I was sitting on a glassing knob in Mexico, and I saw you followed me. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So then I messaged you and said, hey, you gonna be at the expo? Let's talk.
The magic of social media, right?
Yeah.
And we have so many friends in common,
right?
And so I try to follow a lot of podcasts, a lot of people who are kind of like telling stories in the outdoors. As a person who consumes a lot of that content who runs a company that loves that content, I try to just see who's out there and what they're doing.
Cool. Well, I was flattered that you followed me.
Well, thanks. I love what you're doing. You make it fun. I think people really like following what you're putting out there.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's kind of like my whole thing is just DIY Western hunting from like an East Coast guy's perspective, and not pretending to be some kind of badass. I'm just me. I'm learning as I go, and having a good time.
Yeah, good. That's what it's all about. I always say, I've been in the outdoor industry for almost 18 years now, maybe more than that. And I did not build my career on killing big animals. I built it on having fun and telling stories and connecting with people and letting people know that you can do this and just have a really good time at it. Right.
Yeah, like I killed my first mule deer this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and it was a fun hunt. Me and my partner and cameraman, Luke Duesenberry, it was both of our first mule deer, and they were small, but I e-scouted it from Virginia. It was DIY, public land, really tough, low density hunt, and we came out with 2 deer. I'm like, somebody wants to hate on me for shooting a small deer, like, I challenge them to do that.
If anyone hates on you for that, then they can just go have their own fun and enjoy the corner of the state. Right?
Come on. So, that's what it's all about, is being authentic and,
Yeah, it's a big deal to take your first mule deer. Yeah, I have my first one tattooed on my arm.
Oh, can I see it?
If I can get this sleeve up.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
most people know
there we go.
That I killed this. This is my first archery mule deer.
Yep. Archery?
What
state?
Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not a state you hear about a lot.
It's really a sleeper state.
Yeah.
It's a very cool state for archery mule deer hunting. The terrain's a little bit different from what we typically see out west.
Didn't Jana do an episode out there?
Oh yeah, Jana, she's all over.
Yeah.
Where has she not done an episode?
Yeah, exactly. I did a podcast with her a while ago. But where are you from originally?
Originally Oklahoma.
Okay.
And then I moved away from there when I was about 17.
Oklahoma.
And I've been everywhere since.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I've been through Oklahoma once.
Fun fact: I've never hunted in my home state.
At all.
At all.
Wow.
No,
okay.
not that I remember. I think I filmed a hunt there once, but I've never hunted there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So how did you
get into what you're doing now? I'm sure people ask you that all the time.
Yeah, but it's a fun story. I don't mind being asked. So how did I get into it? Well, I'm an adult onset hunter, as they call it. So I started hunting a little bit later in life, after I'd already moved out of my home and I was on my own, and just kind of.
What made you want to get into hunting?
You know, I'm not sure if I saw a photo of somebody holding it like behind a deer or what kind of piqued that interest. It wasn't a conversation that my family had. It wasn't one of those, you know, me seeing pictures or hearing stories of my grandparents even. Like nobody talked about hunting. And so something piqued my interest and I started self-educating.
That's cool.
And going to the bookstore.
It's not easy to start hunting as an adult.
Well, especially back 20 years ago. We didn't have
no
YouTube.
resources.
I mean, we didn't have social media. You couldn't make friends and form a community
Listen
and
to
learn that
podcasts.
way. Right. Yeah, we couldn't consume all this content that helps kind of connect those dots for people. So, I just was winging it. And as soon as I got into hunting, I got in the industry right after, immediately. As fast as I could. I knew I wanted to do it. Yeah.
That was like me. Like after my first, I've been hunting my whole life.
Yeah.
But Western mountain hunting, not that it's like better, but it's a different set of challenges and like it can be a more complete experience, I think.
Yeah, it's almost primitive in some ways, right?
Right.
And I think even the terrain brings us back to that. So a lot of times out west, you know, we'll see a lot of artifacts or, you know, and you can find that on the East Coast as well.
For sure.
It's just not as common to kind of connect the...
And the hunting I was doing was, you know,
tree stand.
500 yards from my truck, deer stand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're back like miles and you're back there for days, it's just a different, more robust experience. So anyway, all I was trying to say was after my first one, I was like, this is it. And that's when I started the podcast. I was like, I want to, honestly, I started it just because I wanted to have conversations and meet people and kind of have an easy way to just sort of put my foot in the door and network and learn, you know? It's been great for
I will tell you, as a person who has been in this industry for a very long time, there are some of the greatest people in the world in this room. I mean, it is the greatest, it's the greatest group of people.
Yeah, I was like completely, I mean, I still am, but like I was completely a nobody and like, you know, like really like big name hunters, I'd, you know, message them on Instagram, hey, will you do a podcast with me? Like, yeah, sure, you know, and like just say yes. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like not many industries can you know, message guys with 60,000 followers and they message you back, say, yeah, sure, you know, when's good for you.
Yeah, it's a very inclusive industry and community, right? So a lot of people, you know, who I've known for 15, 20 years in this space, we hunt together, but we know each other, we know our families' names and we know their dogs' names. And and it's kind of like this lifelong friendship and this bond that you build with people who just have a similar interest.
Especially if you get a chance to actually hunt with them, you know.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's how lifelong bonds are made. It really takes us back to like a primitive thing, right?
I don't even know if you know, but I actually have a film on carbon.
No way, really? What
you didn't know
film
that?
Is it? No, what is it?
So in 2021, I did a Kodiak Island deer hunt. It was my first film hunt ever.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
And I did a podcast with Brian Call, and I sent him a rough cut, just like, hey, get your feedback or whatever. He's like, I really like this. And he actually ran it on the Gritty YouTube channel. And that's how we became friends.
Okay.
But then, I put it on Carbon. And I can't remember the ladies I spoke to over there. It's been a couple years now.
Probably.
Yes, Autumn, and there was another one. But anyway. So when did you start working with Carbon?
So I actually,
and forgive me, I'm like totally ignorant of the whole story.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay. It's been a long, winding road. So my background in this industry was in production. So I'm a TV producer, a host as well.
Were you doing that before you got into the hunting industry?
No. Just in this industry.
Because I was a producer for a TV show before I got into the hunting industry.
Oh, cool.
So I kind of like married my skills.
Which it gives you like a cheat code a little bit, right? A little step forward. So you know
I
a little bit
was
of what's
very
going
blessed to like get professional videography and editing and producing training before I came into the hunting industry. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. But anyway, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so my background was in production, and I had TV shows, commercial, big production company. Everything's going great, and I'd been on the network for quite a long time. Very successful show, everything was great. Well, at a dinner party one night, somebody brought up Carbon TV. This is like 10 years ago. And which is very early for the digital space in the outdoors. And I thought, okay, let me look into that. Well, digitally, we can track so much data. And I was bringing, 18 sponsors and all this, this huge thing that was this show that we had created. And so we actually jumped ship from the network onto Carbon TV. Was my first
Which
digital
network was it?
Sportsman.
Okay.
Yeah. So Carbon TV was my first digital distribution for any content I'd ever created.
Okay.
And it did so well, and my career did better than ever at that point. And I continued down that path for a while. Well, then I got out of that, and I kind of separated myself from that production side, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And around 2017, Carbon TV was part of a kind of a larger media conglomerate at the time. There was an acquisition. Carbon TV got pulled out of the acquisition, and they brought me in as a business consultant. And I came in, take a look at the company, and I ended up taking over operations, and then I became the president not too long after that.
From consultant to president.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, but it's my passion. That company is,
for sure,
it's my heart, and I believe in it, and I know how important it is for that company to provide a platform for people to put their stories out there.
And the cool thing about Carbon too is like you guys just want good content.
Yep.
It doesn't matter like who you are. If it's good content, you like it. Like I said, it's a platform. It's not like you got to pay to be on there or something like that. So I think it's cool what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
And it is interesting because you kind of went from TV into digital. I'm kind of going the opposite. So I'm actually launching a show on Sportsman.
Oh, congratulations.
In Q3 of this year.
Yeah.
So, but these days I feel like it's not really either or. You can kind of do both. So, in my contract, I can release on YouTube and Carbon or whatever after, the episodes run. So,
I usually recommend that for some people, depending on what it is they're creating.
Yeah.
So you'll meet some people and they're like, I only watch Roku, or I only watch, I have Charter and I still have cable, and you never know what some people how they're going to consume that content in their home, on their device, what they're most comfortable with. Yeah. So sometimes, depending on what your goals are, it's it's a really smart idea to hit multiple distribution points, make sure everyone has access to it, and also just kind of helping to educate people on how to have access.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. And I feel like the Western hunting space is very much into YouTube and very much digital.
Yes, very.
And then kind of when you go into the TV, it's more the Midwestern, whitetail, Eastern guys. Yeah. That's kind of the premise of my show anyway, is Western hunting from an East Coaster's perspective, DIY, like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And then the way I'm so half the episodes are going to be hunt films. Yeah. And then half are going to be, so right now I got Brian Barney, Brian Call, and Remy Warren lined up. And I'm going to take a hunt film they've already done and shot, use it basically as B-roll, have an interview with them, asking questions about the hunt, watching it together, kind of dissecting it. Yeah. So you can still get a hunt film in there. They can repackage some content. They can, I can introduce these guys who have been helpful to me to a new audience. Yeah. And kind of maybe cross-pollinate the Eastern whitetail guys and the Western, all these great Western hunting content creators we have that aren't really exposed to that market.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes that market just doesn't know that it's something they would be interested in. Right. So Remy's a great example. A lot of people, they've heard of him, but do they really know all of the great content he's creating?
Yeah.
Right. So this is just a great way to kind of open that door and let people in.
So what do you think is the future of hunting content?
The future of hunting content, man,
Where's it going?
I believe in digital. I really do. But I think that there's still a need for both.
Right.
But as
because
far
you see, like a Waypoint start digital. Now they're going into linear TV.
Right. Yeah.
Do you see any people? Do you see any of that kind of coming back to linear TV at all?
Yeah. So we do the same thing. Right. So it looks very linear. It's still tracked digitally. So it's free ad-supported television. So we have a global distribution network where we partner with other distribution platforms and we develop a kind of it's an electronic programming guide. So it looks linear. So it's 6 o'clock, this is airing, 7 o'clock, that. So we do the same thing, and that is just kind of like what I was saying before, where we want to make sure that anybody who wants to watch this content, they have access to it.
Sure.
I can't guarantee that everyone's going to want to watch on their smartphone. Maybe they want, a fast channel or a live channel. So yeah, I think that is the future. Just being more inclusive, making sure that everybody has the option to watch, and that we're
everything
educating
all the
them.
time, right?
Yeah, it's true, and it can be overwhelming, but I think it's also a blessing if you do it the right way.
Yeah.
And I do think the future of outdoor hunting content, or just outdoor video content in general, I think it's on an upswing. I see a lot of people creating a lot of really good content.
Dude, yeah.
It's amazing.
Like there's so many creators just on YouTube that you may never even heard of, and they're making like awesome stuff.
Right. It's incredible.
And the cool thing about like a carbon is, you know, YouTube, we all kind of have to live in their world, right? And they can decide one day you're done.
I have a lot of these conversations. So censorship is a very real thing.
It is, and it's really hard starting out.
Yeah.
Now, like a guy like me, it's really hard starting out, not only because there's a lot of noise, but also, I mean, they're actively trying to keep that stuff down. So that's where I kind of figured, you know, the TV platform might be a good way to kind of build an audience and then channel people back to digital.
Yeah,
kind of do both.
Absolutely, yeah, and to just go both ways with it. But you know, YouTube is difficult because, well, when they started censoring people, it did well for my business. Because, as I always say, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. Right. And
so you're probably rooting on that shadow banning.
Right, right. You know, but it's almost like they're tolerating the outdoor space, but they're not celebrating it at all. And as soon as their algorithms or their tech figures out that you have a gun or even a bow. You know, a lot of fishing stuff has been shadow banned as well. So a lot of people are facing this censorship. And it's nice for them to have options where they're celebrated and where that content, you know, has a voice and has a home and is widely distributed. Yeah,
that's great. I mean, I love that. You know, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Yeah, it's my tagline. Yeah, and that goes through everything in life too. That's personal, professional, everything. If you're celebrated, you should stick around there.
You got any cool adventures lined up for this fall yet?
You know, the old me would always I would have like a full fall season scheduled out, got my tags in order. But I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person these days. I really love that there are still a lot of states where we have over-the-counter opportunities for people who are busy. You know, who I don't even know what I'm doing next week, let alone in a few months. But I still put in for a lot of draws, especially here we're at Expo. You know, I put in for all.
Oh yeah, me too.
I put all of it,
me too.
Everything.
Yeah, why not?
I haven't drawn anything great yet, but I mean, I have high hopes. I hear these guys drawing like $5.
Did you do the sheep camp stuff?
Yeah, $5 sheep tags. I mean, are you kidding me? It's like
why not?
I don't even know if I'll be able to contain myself if I actually draw one day. But yeah, so I kind of leave a lot of my schedule open. The company is growing, it's scaling right now, so I have to be very available for that. Sure. But then I sneak off for long weekends and I book hunts and
and the opportunities out there. I mean, I feel like there's this whole like doom and gloom thing. Oh, you can't get tags anymore. You can. I think I got 6 tags this year.
Right. Yeah. And if you know exactly what it is you're looking for, what tags, what state, if you kind of have a little bit of a plan. And I know why people say that. It's not like it used to be. I remember the old days. I
don't remember the old days, so I'm lucky.
I sound like a salty old man right now. I remember the old days.
I'm lucky. I don't remember the old days. These are the only days I know.
This is the old days for you. But I mean, you know, we could walk into a Walmart in Idaho and just get like a great elk tag over the literally over the counter. Now, I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning on the website.
What number were you?
I was like 2,700 something.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty low. I didn't get my tag I wanted though.
Yeah, I was 23,000 last year, and I was 5,000 this year. Still didn't get the tag I wanted though. But I got a tag.
Yeah, last year I was 8,000 something. But I mean, this is all new to me. I'm like, wait, this isn't what I remember. And I really wanted that tag. But then, you know, you have a lot of other options, like, you know, Nebraska, like the one this one.
What state do you live in now?
I legally live in Montana.
Legally.
But my office is in Michigan, so I'm back and forth.
Cool.
But I really don't hunt either of those states. You know, I'm more just kind of
Montana's great. I hunted Montana this year for the first time.
Oh yeah.
I had a general rifle deer tag. A lot of fun.
Cool. Montana is an amazing state.
That one actually got a nice deer on.
Oh really?
He was not. I mean, he wasn't like. Yeah. He was a big, like 26-inch wide 2-point with eye guards and some like trash and stuff. He was cool.
Like one of those gnarly, kind of like different,
old, unique. I like those things.
Yeah, I love Montana. I haven't hunted there for years. I just got too busy, I guess. But
well, you're running a business, so.
Running a big company, you know. But my goal is to make a little more time for myself.
Sure.
Get out there a little more. But I do still go in the field a lot. If I have friends who have tags, I'll go film their hunts for them.
You still film stuff?
Oh, for us a hobby, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because I mean, we can't forget where we come from.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
that is my passion.
That's what got me into this whole thing. And
I didn't know you actually ran a camera.
Oh yeah.
That's
so
cool.
I got started volunteering as a cameraman. That's how I got in this industry. Was
Me too, pretty much.
Best way to get to know people.
Hey, I'll come film you.
Yeah, I'll run camera. I learned how to run all the cameras, and they were big cameras. They weren't these little handy cams. They were big.
Yeah.
And tree arms.
Like
and
big XD cams and stuff?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Back in the day.
Over the shoulder?
Over the
Oh
shoulder.
my goodness.
Oh yeah.
That thing probably weighs as much as you.
Yeah. It was.
The big Anton Bauer batteries like this big?
Yeah. And and it was kind of like that grind that made me really grow to love what it is we're trying to do, to tell those stories, of late charging batteries, dumping footage, and making sure all the equipment's in order.
That's
and,
cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know you actually had camera experience. That's cool.
Oh yeah. So my original background is running camera for people.
That's awesome.
And I still like to do it. Jana, if she has a hunt coming up, I'll volunteer as camera guy. She doesn't invite me much anymore because she knows I say no a lot because I'm busy, but yeah, I still love running camera. I love being a part of it. Even just kind of being there present with people in the field. Even if I don't pull the trigger, that's fine.
Yeah. All my hunts this year, like, I had a cameraman with me that I hired too, but I always carried my long lens in my camera because, like, I just love getting the glassing spot and busting out the long lens, and it's almost like an extra part of hunting or something.
Right.
I did learn that when you find an animal you like, to give the long lens to your camera guy. Don't try to mess with it. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's like another aspect of because when I was growing up, I was like wanted to be like a Nat Geo, like wildlife photographer or something. I always thought that was cool.
I still want to be one.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the amount of time those guys spend just sitting there waiting for that perfect shot?
I know.
There's something to be said
like sitting
for
in a
that
hide
dedication.
for 3 weeks looking for a snow leopard or something.
Right. Yeah, and you get like one opportunity. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I have the patience for that though.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I do either. But a girl can dream. Yeah. I love that side of it, and I love that there's so many creative people in this industry.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's really cool.
You ever do any editing?
I tried, and I'm really bad at it. So
once you learn the software, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Like especially if it's a hunt you're on, it's addicting.
I did one of those all night, get on YouTube and try to figure it out. Because I had a project for and this is like 8 years ago. And it was a company in this industry, and we had a video project due, and all my editors were all busy.
Seriously,
and
I'm gonna do it.
Oh, how hard can it be? These guys do it all the time. It wasn't great.
It's not that easy. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
The best way to do it is just sit over someone's shoulder who knows what they're doing and just watch and observe.
Right.
And
yeah.
So.
Yeah. I wish I could do more of that, but
that's all right. You're on the new things now.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, where can people check out Carbon TV?
So Carbon TV is everywhere. I mean, so if you like to watch content on your phone, obviously we have free. It's always free, first of all. So we never charge people to watch it, and we don't require that you give us your information to watch it. If you don't want to tell me who you are, you can still stream it. You can still watch it all the time. Obviously Android and iOS, but also Roku is really popular. Our Roku app is amazing for VOD. Apple TV, Amazon Fire. You've got.
It's normal.
So you've got.
Are you guys going through? Thanks.
Hi guys. Hi. Hello. So you've got all of the endpoints on OTT. So you've got Amazon Fire, Roku.
Hey, we're trying to actually record something here. Sorry, we're trying to record an interview here real quick. You're okay. You're okay. No worries. Just want to let you know. No, you're fine, man. You're fine. She likes you.
I know. She can come
It's okay.
On the camera. Your face is in the camera.
She's all right.
She's fine.
Hopefully you have to delete that out.
No,
it's okay.
They're fine.
No worries.
She probably made it better.
Yeah.
So people can watch Carbon TV everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean.
I think I have that. I know I have the app.
Yeah, the app is great. You don't even have to have the app if you didn't want.
Hey guys, please don't touch it, okay? Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I thought she was gonna knock it over that time. I was like, oh, okay. So people who like Carbon TV, they can watch it everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally everywhere. We've made sure that we're touching all of those endpoints.
Yep.
Always free, and we're always adding new content. So our content acquisition team is constantly licensing more, bringing more stuff on. And
you do some podcasts on there too, don't you?
Yeah, so that's exciting. We just built a podcast distribution platform inside of our infrastructure about 1.5 years ago.
Cool.
I think we have 30 podcasts right now, and it's growing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of traffic on it. People really wanted to hear that, so.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's good.
Cool. Well, appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so I'm here with my buddy Mark Livesay. How you doing, dude?
Good to see you, man.
Dude, it's fun. It's fun. Last year being here, I knew a few people, and I talked to them online and stuff. But it's a little awkward, being here alone. Kind of you don't want to walk up on people having conversations. You're like, hey, you know what I mean? But
some do.
Yeah, they do. But this year it's been fun because I know people a little bit more.
Yeah.
Can actually.
Well, they know you a little bit too.
Right.
You've been doing your podcast, been on some hunts, been on some films.
Yeah.
And I typically don't like to come to these shows.
Yeah.
But I like to connect with the people. All the people are taking my course. They come up to you. It's so positive. It's it's heartwarming, right?
Yeah.
And now the course and then the films. We had a couple really good films.
Yeah. You behind the camera?
Yeah, dude. I'm about ready to put you guys out of work. Did you see that camera work?
I will say it was noticeably shakier when you were holding it than when Brian was holding it.
Well, my buck never even got.
No, you didn't.
He didn't even track my buck.
So if you guys know what we're talking about, he did a hunt in Montana with Gritty, Brian, but he grabbed the camera for a second. But you did. You got it. You got it on frame, and made it happen.
Dude, what do you mean on frame? Track 100 yards, drop shot, held on.
Yeah.
Dude, it's minus 100.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, you guys were out there, I think, the same kind of time frame I was. The first night I got there was negative 23.
Yeah. When we got there, you had the worst of it. It was improving slightly.
Okay.
But we did get in this blizzard, right? But it wasn't. Well, on the way driving there, we couldn't make it. The roads got bad. We ended up having to stay the night. I had to put my llamas on the side of the road behind a casino. And it was pretty epic. We make it out there, and the weather got a little better as far as cold, but the snow and the kind of stormy stuff kind of
moved in. It was knee deep in some spots.
Dude, the drifts that were blowing over those coulees.
Yeah.
It was chest deep in a lot of them. And my llamas, the packs would catch the snow and they could hardly push it.
Oh my gosh.
And but no, it was really good. Except,
But you guys brought llamas back in there.
We did.
You had to pack a bunch of food because they can't graze, right?
Yeah, we packed pellets. Yeah.
You about to ask me something?
No, I was just going to say, in your hunt, you guys had colder, but you guys saw more deer.
Yeah, again, I wasn't looking for probably the giants you guys were, but yeah, I think almost literally every single glassing session we saw a buck that was like, all right, let's go at least take a closer look,
Not us. We literally.
Because when you guys shot yours, it was in a blizzard.
It was a blizzard.
Yeah.
And when
the weather was like that where we were, the deer, we did not see deer.
Dude, we were scraping with our pinkies out of the lenses to get the cat. You notice that when you look at the film, it's a little fuzzy because so much fog. And I was surprised that the camera did as good as it did.
Yeah, dude, it was nuts.
The scope was fogged up.
The deer stands up and shakes all
that ice off, right?
That was cool.
So we glassed those bucks from about maybe 1,500, and we saw this buck for a second.
Yeah, your buck?
No,
it was
another buck. And Brian, I see a buck, and I look, and I was like, But we were desperate. I'll be honest, we were desperate.
What day of the hunt was this?
It wasn't that far into the hunt.
But you had your boy with you too.
But we didn't have a lot of time because we had been elk hunting. We spent an extra day elk hunting, killed 2 elk, so it took us a little more time to get that out. So we spent 4 days getting these elk, and then we were going to try to do 5 days, 6 days on this deer, back to back. And my wife and his mom is screaming he needs to get back to his schoolwork, and I'm like, we got to start killing some stuff. And so my son killed his buck the night before.
Okay.
And so, anyway, we saw this buck from a long way, but he wasn't huge, but we decided we're going to go take a look at him, see what so we get over there, we sneak up, long story. When we peek over, I look down, and all I can see is this rack in the sagebrush, and I'm like, that ain't the buck. That is not the same buck. And Brian, what do you mean? What? I said, right below us. He looked for a while, he couldn't pick it up at first. And all you can see is this chocolate horse just in the sage, right?
Yeah.
And it was snowing and blizzard. I said, dude, and Brian's like, Brian's like, oh shit, that's a good, nice buck. Yeah. So I get on.
That was yours, right? He was 31 wide?
He's about 30, 31-ish, whatever, right in that range. Mainly because he had a curve out right, but still, hey, I'm going to call it. And he stands up and he just starts going after this other buck. So another buck comes in the game. And I made a shot over this little ridge. It was tight. And I got him. And when he went into this ditch, he ran up in this coulee and tipped over and slid into the coulee. Well, when he slid in, this buck, almost the same size, runs out of the coulee.
Yeah.
So I get the gun back up again. I'm thinking my buck. Brian's like, that's not your buck. I'm like, that's my buck.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And he's like, no. I'm like, Brian, are you sure? Your buck is dead. I'm like, dude. He goes, okay, you shoot it. So he got behind my gun. And the whole time I'm thinking, he's going to shoot my buck. And he shoots, and we get them both. We go over there, and they're both, it was 2 bucks.
That's awesome.
And when we shot, another buck ran out.
Oh, whoa.
So there's this little conclave of bucks hanging out. And that's the biggest mature deer we saw the whole time.
Okay, yeah.
So the deer in that area were really taking a hit.
Yeah.
Or have taken a hit.
Yeah.
And now this winter
the weather's not helping anything.
This winter is bad.
Yeah. That was a really fun hunt, man. That was my first time hunting Montana. That was a fun hunt.
Yeah, I love it. We talked about it quite a bit going into it.
Yeah.
And the spot you picked is a money spot.
Did I show you exactly where it was?
List. Yeah, it's not after, but what you were talking about before.
We went a little bit south.
You adjusted a little bit.
I found a burn area that was like not roadless, but like starting to get a little roadless south of where I was originally going. Because we went to where I was originally going, and it was like, we're like, dude, this is like sheep country. This is like, So we went down a little bit south into my plan B that I'd kind of looked at, the old burn, and we started seeing deer right away. But definitely a challenge. For me, I'm still developing my skills and stuff. For me, the biggest challenge was, when you're out in mountainous terrain, the topo is very obvious and easy to read, and there it's just like everywhere. It looks all the same.
Yeah.
But that was fun, man. It was fun.
That's funny you said that because
what I was gonna say was we didn't see another guy the whole time.
Really?
6 days. I saw one pickup truck like 4 miles away in my binos. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's not always the case. That's not always the case.
I know. We got really blessed.
I was going to tell you about that for your listeners. When I'm hunting, I always talk about this in my course. You got to use the right tool for the right job, right? And I know you got the right tools, but I use all the apps, right? But when you're in the coulee country, where you're talking about most of the coulees are 200 feet.
Yeah.
Or less, 100 feet. They're steep and they're gnarly.
Yeah.
But they're not 500, 600, 700. So when you look at a topographic map that is not of a 200 index scale, meaning a line every 40 feet,
right,
you can't hardly determine what's going on. Yeah. So I recommend, guys, if you're listening to this in your hunting country like that, where it's really steep but short, you got to get at minimum a 200-foot index map.
Okay.
So not all apps have that level of detail.
Gotcha.
So without getting into a bunch of nuts and bolts, just pay attention to that. If you're hunting big mountain country, you can get away with a little less.
Right.
But when you're hunting that short,
because it's obvious. Like, okay, there's a huge mountain there.
But how many times did you pull and look at it? This looks flat, but it's not flat.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's kind of deceiving because it doesn't look like really tough country.
Yeah, but it is.
But yeah, when you cover 3 miles in that, you're going up and down a lot, and you got to be super intentional about the lines you pick.
Yeah,
because you can get yourself in trouble.
Yeah,
not like death-defying trouble, but you can get some stuff you don't want to be in.
Well, you can get clipped out real easy there, right? And you got to drop tracks. I know because you got to go back.
Right.
So when we killed our bucks, I didn't follow my own advice. We had the points, right, where the truck was, and
and you're like, oh yeah, we'll just walk that way. But you got to do it like the right way.
It wasn't that far. We thought we'll just do it. Well, it got dark.
Yeah.
And it's blizzard, and I'm like, we'll just follow our tracks out, no problem.
Tracks are gone.
I got 6 llamas and 3 people.
Gone.
You would think there would be no problem, right? It took us less than an hour and a half to do both deer, load them, and go.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find our tracks.
Yeah.
So we're navigating
That's
off
real,
it.
dude.
And so we're looking at contours, same thing, but it's very deceiving. So even with the best map, it's still tough.
Yeah.
But it does help if you go with a little bit higher index.
Yeah. And not gonna lie, man, like I'm glad that, so my dude that helped me film it is a guy named Logan Romney, and I was glad that I had him with me, because like my dude that had in Wyoming had never been on a Western hunt, but that was antelope. This one, I'm really glad, because my camera guy Logan was a really good hunter and helped me out a lot. But I mean, it's not even easy to find glassing spots in that stuff, because it's kind of hard to tell like what's even the highest point.
Yeah,
you know
that's what I'm saying. And you know, I don't want to get into much of this, but that's why I always tell everyone, you got to pre-test your glassing spots before you go. Now you can't do them all. You got to work on the fly, right? But the more you can do ahead of time on that kind of stuff, it pays big differences. Because you know, you got out there are some spots that are obviously way better views than other spots, right?
For sure.
But on the map, it's really hard to pick those out. But if you're using a good 3D, like I always recommend, the apps are getting good, right? Like GoHunt has exceptional 3D, no doubt. But it's not as good as Google Earth yet. It's getting there. So when you're looking at 3D and you're looking at glassing spots, you really need two screens. You need GoHunt or whatever, you need whatever app. I'm using GoHunt right now.
Info on it.
And then you got Google Earth on the other, and you're going back and forth. And if you do that technique, you're really getting dialed on your glassing spots. But out there, glassing's the name of the game. And you got to see the most country you can see. So.
Yeah, and those deer just like appear out of those little pockets and stuff.
You look out there, it looks like nothing, and all of a sudden there's a deer.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it was, man.
And then another thing too is like you see the deer and you think, I'm just going to go over there.
Right.
Well, 3 hours later, you're halfway there.
Good luck. Yeah, like the pack out was like, it was only like 4.5 miles, but it was one of the tougher pack outs I've done, just because we were just
up and down and up and down.
But
and snow.
What's that?
And snow.
Yeah, and snow. I mean, plus, where I'm from, 23 is cold. Negative 23 is like, what? You know?
It's been a brutal spring. I mean, a brutal winter this year. So I hope we have some deer survive. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But what do you got? Anything cool planned for this year?
I got a really good tag in Idaho. I'm excited about that. I'm going to dedicate a lot of time to that. I'm going to probably do a draw tag for Montana in a new area that I've never been.
For elk or deer?
For elk. And then deer we're going to move this year. We've already been talking that we need to let the area that we've been hunting, it's going to come back a little. So we're going to make some adjustments for that. Spring bear, I'm going to try to do my kill 3 bears this year.
Right. And but you can get a deer tag every year because you live in Montana.
Yes. Resident.
The other guys though, so can Lampers.
Lampers too, yeah.
But Brian
can't. Although, we'll tell your audience, I'm going to get hate for this. In Montana, I'm really going to get some hate for this, but it's a good nugget. They changed the rules last year. And one of the things that I didn't understand at first, but now I've kind of grasped it, is Montana came, and don't quote me on specifics, I'm just going to give you the generalities. They wanted to reward people, I think, that was coming to Montana for the first time. So they pulled out a pot of the non-resident tags that are only available to 0 point holders. So when you look at the draw odds for the last year, more people drew with 0 points than 1 or 2. I think. But the point is, my point is, if you have 0 points, you still have a really good chance of drawing a tag.
I heard about that. No, I still, and we don't have to go into this.
It punishes the people with 1 point, which is not good.
Right. And we don't have to go into this if you don't want to, but I still don't quite get the difference between like the bonus and the preference points. So like I've been buying points in Montana for a couple years, and I had 2. And then I drew my tag this year, and like I thought that would burn my 2 points. I think it did.
Yes.
Okay.
So
now I got 0. So should I apply again?
Absolutely, because you got an extra group of. You've got a pot of tags to draw from that are not offered in the 1 and 2 point. And so I don't know so much about the non-resident Montana, but if I'm correct.
Here's a question though: if I apply, can I still buy my point?
Yes.
Because Wyoming, you can't.
Yes.
I can.
In Montana,
so I can apply and get my point.
Yes.
Okay. Done.
And
so I love talking to Mark.
In Montana too, you got to remember that you gotta proactively say you want to buy the point. You don't get it automatically.
Right.
It's not exactly like Wyoming, but it's similar. So like the Wyoming deadline was yesterday or day before?
Yeah, 31st for elk.
So I messed up one year. As many years as I've been doing it, I messed up because I forgot.
Yeah.
I missed an elk point one year because I said, well, I applied, I didn't get it, so I got a point. You don't.
No, you have to do the buy only period.
Yeah, in July.
Yeah.
So guys don't forget that.
Yeah.
And things in Wyoming are getting ready to get tough. So get your points, or don't get your points, so that I can hunt more. That'd be great. But Wyoming's changing. We don't know what, but something is changing. I've talked to 2 guys at this show.
I talked to the dudes over at Eastman's. They're like, "Oh, it's not gonna pass."
I hope they. Well, you know what? If the Eastman guys are saying that, they're dialed in Wyoming, right? They're dialed.
Yeah.
So I hope that's true.
Yeah, me too.
But I just did a little.
mean, the thing is, like, non-residents, that's where the money comes from.
That's right. Well, there's other ways to make money. But the rumor I heard, not rumor, but the talk is that they're going to go to 10% non-resident tags, but they're going to raise the tag fee $600.
Wow.
So that the Wyoming tag will become $1,800, the most expensive elk tag in the U.S. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I hate to see hunting become a rich man's game. I hate it.
Yeah.
Now, at my point in my life, I don't have that much money, but I have more money than time. I'm 57. Getting tags is a high priority for me, right?
Yep.
But $1,800 is outrageous. I mean, I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
And states that are charging that level,
$1,800 or
no, non-residents.
Okay.
It's criminal. It's outrageous, in my opinion. Now, I have no problem paying expensive, $800, $900, but $2,000 for an elk tag.
The special or regular?
That's the special.
Okay, yeah.
That's not there yet. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just think that they're turning it into we're just going to raise it as high as we can.
Kind of getting greedy.
To see what we can get.
Yeah. Kind of getting greedy a little bit.
Yeah. It's kind of past the point of it's greed now, I think, a little bit.
Because at this point, it's like they know people will pay it.
Yeah, and now I like that it supports wildlife. I like that it supports cars. I'm all about it.
If you take it to a level where like the average guy can't
do
afford
it, right?
That's not cool.
It's only the guys that have the money, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not cool.
You don't like it. So anyway, so I got that. Bear season, I'm really excited about bears because my spring is a little more relaxed than the fall sometimes, and I've really just in the last 4 or 5 years upped my bear game. I'm really digging it. I love it. We had a really fun bear hunt last year, and I think
can't wait till a little bit. Put that one out. He's gonna put it out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be coming out here soon.
Yep.
So we had a good time, and
you gonna go back and look for Meatball?
I'm going to put it this way: if I see Meatball, I'm going to forget I know you. So.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not saving Meatball for you, Hunter.
No, I know you're not. I know.
And Meatball is
it's
on
y'all's spot. So
Meatball is on the hit list.
I bet.
You saw it. The poop that bear was putting down.
Oh yeah,
was some of the biggest black bear poop I've ever seen.
Dude, I remember we were walking up on that bear and just like walking past the piles of poop, and I was like, it just felt like I don't know. It just felt like the atmosphere changed. Like I were walking up on a large beast.
Dude, when we first saw it, I wasn't even sure it was black bear at that point.
Yeah, because he was kind of chocolate
but I mean that poop.
Oh, the poop.
I was like, that is so big for black bear. And anyway, that was great. And
who knows how spring will go down? Maybe we'll still end up being able to hunt together.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I know that Brian and Ryan's schedules are jacking around. So they got this moose bug, they got the grizzly bug, us peasants they're left behind.
Yeah, well maybe we could do something like I did with them in Mexico, where like we hunt together and then we can both use the content or something.
Yeah, well, dude, you know me, I'm game for all that. You film guys got to work out all the rights. I just show up and hunt.
Yeah, that's what we did in Mexico.
My role, that's stay in your lane, right? I have llamas.
Yes.
You guys film. Ryan kills big shit. That's the way it works in this circle, right?
Yeah. Well,
I show up with the transportation.
Right.
You guys show up with the camera gear, and we have a good time.
And if we have to play the camera to you, we can.
Dude, I've already showed. I'm like, I got so many skills.
No, but yeah, I mean, like what we did in Mexico is like, I just told Brian, I was like, you can edit your own thing, use my footage, I'll grab your footage, and we'll just. So I think it worked fine. So maybe we can do something.
Dude,
like
I don't. And you know, you guys got totally different styles.
Yeah.
You produce a movie, and he produces the same movie. It's gonna look.
Oh, totally different.
It'll be totally different in two cool angles.
Yeah.
You know what I kind of like about what you just said is, it's not really been done that much.
Yeah.
Shit, and like it's almost like a competition of production a little bit, like Iron Chef, right? Like Hunter goes his way with the whole set of footage, Brian goes his way, and then you guys and let the see who the big dog is.
Interesting to see how it turns out, but yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. I got a couple cool adventures planned, so should be fun.
What are you doing?
So I'm gonna do Spring Bear, obviously. Not sure where, but I'll do something. And then I'm going to Alaska in August. So we're getting an airboat up a river on the North Slope, and then we're gonna float out for caribou. And then I'm still figuring out draws and stuff. I should draw my Montana general elk this year. I'm supposed to. I have 3 points.
Oh, you're guaranteed.
Yeah, because it's a 2 point, right?
Yeah, 2 point max.
It's 2 point max. Yeah. Okay. I thought I was reading something
I
wrong.
don't know how they can say that.
Can I keep my one?
Dude, I don't know how can they say it's a guarantee. Depends on how many people put in.
I don't know.
Because there's a cap. I don't really understand that.
And I put in, it's 2 point max, so I get to keep my extra one.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
They're not that generous.
So basically, I need to do that hunt this year.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like wasting.
Yeah, you waste 3 points.
Right.
Yeah.
So
'cause you lose them.
So I'm looking at. There's a couple. I don't know if I want to say this. Okay, yeah. There's a couple units you can rifle hunt in September.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've been looking at those.
You can
trying to
say it
figure
because
out.
nobody wants to do it.
Nah, I'm not
We
gonna
talked
say
about it. It's a very difficult hunt.
I know.
It's a low population hunt,
Yeah.
but you're chasing bulls in a rut.
Yeah.
It's cool.
But I was talking to Brian Barney earlier. He kind of inspired me. Maybe I'll just go archery, and then if I don't get it done, come back with the gun later. But anyway.
But that's the beauty. That's one of the reasons I love Wyoming as well.
Yeah.
I love that general tag. I like to go in there. My strategy is I use the archery season to go after toads. I love to try to get big bulls.
Yeah.
If I can't get it done,
That caller or spot and stalk type guy?
Well, I'm switching games, man. I've watched so much success from, like Peter, we were just talking to a guy named Peter, Lampers, Barney.
You don't like hardly call
These
at all.
big bulls are going down with spot and stock tactics. And they're going down with the spot and stock tactics. And
It's the element of surprise, man.
the calling tactics are producing bulls, but they're not producing these next level bulls.
Yeah. And they're coming in all pins and needles,
Or they're not coming in.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, in some of these areas of Montana, I don't want to say, you blow a cow call, those bulls are running away.
Yeah. Brian was even saying like guys will go out there and they'll get answers, but what they don't realize is the bull is bugling, but he's like circling his cows up and like leaving.
That's right.
Like
Roundup bugle. Talk to Joel Turner, it's Roundup bugle.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we had a spot we went into in Idaho this last year. There were so many bulls bugling. It was confusing. I know it sounds like a good problem, but these bulls would bugle. You'd bugle, they bugle. I mean, nonstop.
Yeah.
The minute we would get within 200 or 300 yards, dead silent. So we quit calling, and we finally snuck up on a bull, nice bull. He had 7, 8 cows with him. We're 150 yards from him. My buddy's with me. I said, hey, go back over the ridge and give me just a little bugle.
Yeah.
No aggression, no nothing. He's 200 yards away, Hunter. And I'm watching the bull. I'm 80 yards from the bull.
To see what you do.
I'm 80 yards, but I can't go any further. So he needs to come just a little bit, right? He bugles, and that bull, like he'd been shot. They took off up the mountain like a stampede.
Wow.
And I was like, there's no hunters around.
I mean, I've always like you have to be a really good caller to convince an animal that you are another animal. I feel like unless
Dude,
it's a
it was a
young
beautiful
bull
call.
or something. You know what I mean?
They are just, I think that
Call shy.
they're adapting in some areas, not all.
Yeah, sure.
And so I'm going to start spreading my wings a little bit, and I'm applying for 2 tags that are predominantly spot stock. We'll see how it goes, and then I'm going to try to get a Colorado rifle tag first season.
Third rifle?
First.
For elk or deer?
For elk.
Okay.
I've got 10 points in Colorado, so I need to spend them.
Yeah.
And this might be a good year because I don't have a lot on the books for October. And then I'm going to go back to Missouri.
October's tough to plan for.
I know.
So many options.
And so many. I could draw New Mexico, probably won't.
Yeah.
Could draw this, probably won't.
Coulds and woods.
I mean, might get lucky at the expo and draw the beaver tag, right?
Yeah.
Do you put in while you're here?
Oh, I put everything.
Yeah.
Sheep, everything.
So, somebody asked me a question. If I put everything and they draw you out for a whitetail,
good question.
Then
you can't get
drawn. Do you get removed for everything else?
Good question.
Dude, it kind of freaked me out when they said that. I was like, ooh, I never thought about that. I'm like,
that is interesting.
Maybe I should just go for the Big Ten, you know?
So if you guys have never been to the expo, if you come to the expo, there's like 200 tags that you can apply for, but you have to
be here,
be in person at the expo to like check in. So, and there's some pretty good tags in there.
That's one of the reasons there's 65,000 people here.
Yeah,
they're coming to all try to get these tags.
Yeah, and the sheep. There's sheep tags you can put in for.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But yeah, definitely. So last year my goal was, or this past season my goal was first mule deer, first coos buck.
Got that check.
Did it. So next year, I want to kill an elk, first elk, and then I want to get my last deer species, which is a Columbia blacktail. So then, whenever I'd probably hunt in Montana, and then October, and then November, I'm heading to Oregon with my buddy Luke, who's from out there, and we're going to tag team, try to kill a blacktail, and then if there's time, maybe go over Roosevelt's for a few days after. He's got some local intel, and he's from out there, so. And he's got some bruisers on camera. I'm gonna show you, dude.
Well,
dude, I gotta show you.
It's hard for. I'm from Missouri, the land of giant whitetails, right? It's hard for me to get excited about blacktails and coos.
Wait till you see this blacktail. But you're still a whitetail guy, though.
I am. So I hunted this last year. I killed a pretty nice whitetail this year. I went back to my buddy's ranch, farm, whatever you call it, Missouri, and and it kind of rejuvenated me.
Yeah,
I kind of didn't realize.
I mean, that adrenaline rush when a big deer comes into your stand is pretty.
I didn't realize how much I missed it. Right, the tree stand hunting.
Yeah.
So I'm now going to try to go back every year. Well, after the season I usually have, it's nice to set in the tree stand, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go back for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do that every year, don't you?
No, last year was the first year I've done it.
Okay, look at this blacktail.
Oh, jeez.
That's like potentially like world record.
Yeah, and you see what time
That's
of day
on my
it is.
friend's camera.
And you see what time of day it is, though.
That's true. But we're going to be there in early November. So
that's crazy.
That thing legit. I
that's
can't
the
show
longest.
you.
That's the longest drop time I've ever seen on a blacktail. That's.
So we're gonna be looking for that guy.
Man, is he gonna let you shoot that thing when it comes by?
Or I got first right of refusal.
Or is he off the check? You know how. So when you hunt with Ryan,
yeah,
on the way over there, you get the rundown of the bears that you can shoot and can't shoot.
What's on his hit list?
Okay, Red Lightning, it's off the list. Chocolate 2.0, oh, he's off the list. This guy, he's off the list.
Yeah.
So this next year when we roll in, I'm going to say Meatball is off the list.
For Ryan.
Yeah.
Are those guys hunting in the lower 48 for bears this year?
I don't think so, not this year.
Okay.
Because Ryan, the problem is those guys get back, and then we got to roll into the Western Hunting Summit that he puts on in June.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. We're moving to a new location, so there's going to be a lot of prep work.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off or not. But
cool, man.
So Ryan and I put in for Prince of Wales.
Okay.
For next year, this year for next year. So hopefully we're going to draw on that tag.
Cool. Dude, then if I don't know if we'll all do Mexico together again, but if we do, you should come next year.
Well, I hope I get invited in that one. I didn't get invited this year, so.
Well, the only reason because I actually booked that hunt.
You booked the hunt,
like
right?
a year ago
They
after I talked to Jay,
you, right?
and I just was like, I want to do this hunt. I was like, I'll find 3 other guys. So I had no idea who I was going to do it with.
You're the biggest risk taker when it comes to that shit. Like that sheep
Sometimes
tags, you just go after it. That's one thing I do like about you. You're not afraid of that stuff, and
I just have faith. Like the Lord is going to like make it work out.
Dude, I don't like very many things about you. I'm just kidding. But I love that. I love your tenacity on that. You're just you buy. How many did you have to buy?
Well, I booked a group of 4. I didn't have to pay for it all up front.
I know, but you booked 4 people without not having a single person.
Oh yeah, it was just me.
And
I was like, I'll find 3 other guys. It just happened to be Brian, Brad, and Ryan.
So they loved it. So they're addicted, I think.
So anyway, I had 4. So we would have loved to have you down there.
I'm just kidding.
But if we do it again, you should come.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I'm going to try to get New Mexico on ad too. So on the draw.
Is that hard to draw?
Not hard.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it, but I did the OTC stuff for a couple days.
Well, New Mexico is a lottery state, just like Idaho.
Oh, okay.
So, but the odds are not terrible.
Right.
Like 15-20%, right? It's not great, but 1 out of 5, I'll take it.
I will say, though I did not find a single Barbary sheep in 3 days, just the country, and it's something I really want to do now.
It's cool now. Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, it's a sheep that you can hunt.
Yeah.
Without paying, $50 grand or whatever.
Yeah, 100 grand, 300 grand.
Or waiting
whatever.
30 years.
Exactly.
But all right, man. Well, hope we can do something again.
We're going to be doing something this year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, maybe we can collab this spring on the bear again.
Well, the bear season.
And then meatballs off.
We got a lot of. Maybe I can go in there for a week, and then
we'll go a different area.
You can come in after that.
Shoot one of those little skinny black ones across the river.
Oh shit! I can tell you one thing. Before I pull the trigger on those cross river shot like last year, I'm gonna be analyzing it.
Dude, we were.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't
that bad. But I do remember after that being like, I don't want to do that again.
Dude, we looked at a lot of bears across the river after that, right?
I know, and I remember
you almost shot one on the way out. You were thinking about it.
The last day I saw that bear that was there every day, and I literally was in my head. I was pacing back and forth. Am I gonna shoot him? Am I gonna shoot? Am I gonna do this? Am I gonna tack on extra 2 days and probably sleep under a tarp or be soaking wet all night or whatever? And I texted my wife. I was like, I could shoot this bear, but I'm gonna be another day or 2 on this trip. Should I do it? And it took so long to get the inReach message back, and I don't know. She was like, yeah, shoot it. And I ripped out all my stuff, got my camera set up on the thing, pulled my rifle out. The second I'm putting my head in the scope, he just behind a bush and never saw him again. And that happened 2 more times on my pack out, where I saw a bear. I was like, doing it, ripped all my stuff out, get it, and he's gone.
Yeah, you left before us on the same day, I think.
Yeah.
But dude, you saw so many bears on the way out.
I did, and it was pouring rain, and then I had the whole hike back to be just beat myself up because, anyway, I felt a little bit like I wimped out and didn't shoot one across the river when I could have.
Dude,
but it would have.
Well, one, you didn't have a raft with you.
That's true.
So you'd had to hook back up with us, which would have been 3 or 4 more miles.
Yeah.
Because there's no getting across that without a raft.
No.
And that would have been an ordeal.
It would have been an ordeal.
But hey, you only live once.
Exactly.
We'll be shooting across Canyon. You know we will.
Oh, of course.
We say that now. As soon as we see the bear, we'll be shooting.
All you can't really see on your side very well.
Well, I think we could attack. Now that we've been there, I'm going to analyze that area more with Google Earth and get better angles on lookbacks on these.
Yeah.
I think with some study, I think we can put ourselves into better position on that.
There were some areas where we spotted meatball from.
Yeah.
You could kind of see pretty good over there, and we were up there predator calling and stuff.
I think that there's some ways to work it differently.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can link up, but hey, what's up, man? I don't want to take any more of your time, man.
Thanks,
it's been great catching up with you.
It's great, bro.
Love you, buddy.